We're going to talk now about getting resales and referrals in your selling business. Now, a direct sale to a commercial customer today costs more than $400 in terms of time, travel, advertising, lead generation, and other expenses. Acquiring a customer at this cost can put a company out of business unless that customer buys again and again. Now, the very best salespeople and the very best companies implement strategies to acquire customers and keep them for life. Your goal must be to develop long-term customer relationships and then to hold on to them into the face of ever more aggressive competition. When you install a customer acquisition and retention strategy, that's where you get them and you keep them, you do more to build and maintain long-term customer relationships than ever before. By continually thinking in terms of customers for life, your success in sales will be assured. All the highest paid salespeople have people who buy from them over and over. And your goal should be to be among the top 10% in your field. And this requires regular resales and referrals to happy customers. If you want to be at the top of your field, you also want to sell more of your products or services to better prospects easier than ever before. So you must study and learn and practice and become excellent at every single part of the process of professional selling. Your goal is to build a solid customer base of repeat sales. So once you have sold to a customer, they buy from you over and over again. They reach the point where they consider you to be the only person that they talk to when they need your product or service. Now, selling today is harder than ever before. Making a sale is more difficult than it's been in the past. It takes more calls to find qualified prospects. It takes more callbacks to make individual sales. There's more competition for the business than ever before, and your prospects are checking out your competition. And customers today are harder to sell to than ever before. And why is this? Customers today are more knowledgeable about products and services available. With one mouse click on the computer, a click on their iPhone, they can very quickly find out where your product is selling and for what price anywhere in the world. Customers are more demanding with regard to quality and service and value. And why are they more demanding? Because your competitors are offering them increased quality and service and value, and you must be better than your best competitor in order to survive. Customers today have more choices, and therefore they have less urgency to decide. They can buy today or tomorrow or next month because the price will be the same, and so will the product or service, unless maybe the product or service that they wait to buy will be even better than the one you're selling right now. This makes selling very difficult. Customers today are impatient. They want everything now. They want everything immediately. And if you don't service them immediately, they'll immediately walk across the street and buy from someone else and never come back. Have you ever had an experience where you need something around your house or business, and you phone a company that's advertising that product or service, and they say, well, we're really busy now, could we get back to you next week? And you say, no, I want the product or service now. So you hang up the phone and you call someone else, and they say, we'll take care of it right away. We'll send someone out right away. We'll deliver the product right away. And you smile, and you never call the other company back for the rest of your life. And you'll always stay with a company that takes care of you the fastest. Now, what is the purpose of a business? Well, the purpose of a business is to create and keep a customer. Some people say that profits are the purpose of a business, but the profit is a result of creating the customer and then keeping the customer over time. So all smart businesses and all top business people focus on customer creation, making sales, and second of all, customer service, keeping those customers happy so they buy from you again and again. Now, the first sale in any relationship with a customer is the hardest and most expensive. I know Fortune 500 companies who sell multi-million-dollar services and products, and to get the first sale away from a competitor, they will cut their prices by 50% for the services for the first year. And this is quite standard in some industries. They'll cut their prices by 50% just to get the customer for the first time, and then they'll charge the full price for the second year, but they hope to make up their losses by satisfying their customers so much that the customers stay with them year after year. So the first sale, you might have to give discounts, special offers, special terms, special bonuses, special considerations just to get the sale for the first time. That's why it's the most expensive. The second sale, however, is the most important sale. Actually, it's the second sale and the third sale and the fourth sale, because your second sale is proof that you have delivered on the promises you made to get the sale in the first place. So the very best salespeople, when they're talking to their customers the first time, are always thinking about the second and third sales even before they've made the first sale. They're looking at starting a sales process that will make this customer so happy that they will buy again and again. Now, resales are 10 times easier to make than a new sale. What this means is that a resale to a happy customer requires only 1/10 of the time and effort to achieve. It may cost you a lot of money and many hours to get the first sale, but the second sale is easy if the customer is happy. You already have established credibility. The customer just calls you up and reorders. Sometimes you don't even have to see the customer. The sale will just take place. That's why a resale is so much more profitable to the company and to you. Now, referrals are 15 times easier to sell to than a cold call, than finding a brand new customer. What does this mean? It means that a referral requires only 1/15 of the time and the effort to make. You see, when you get a referral, we call this a warm lead. You walk in to see the prospect, but the prospect is already waiting for you. The prospect has already spoken to their friend who's a satisfied customer. The prospect is almost sitting there with their checkbook ready to buy when you visit them the first time. This is a much easier sale to make than going out and finding brand new customers in a very competitive market. Customer retention, holding on to your customers, is the key to sales success. Single purchase customers, customers that only buy once and never again, are too difficult and too expensive to acquire. They cost too much money. Interesting, every so often you see a restaurant that opens up and advertises and spends a lot of money, so people go to try out the restaurant. And then when they get there, the service is okay and the food is average. And they don't understand why 2 months later they're bankrupt. They didn't understand that getting the customer for the first time is very expensive. What you have to do now is take such good care of that customer that they come back over and over. Your focus must always be on the second sale and the third sale and the fourth sale. There are many companies that I deal with and that you deal with that over the years you spend hundreds and thousands of dollars at these companies, and whenever you think of that product or service, you go to that company. You don't even think about your competitors. Do you know why? It's because people follow the path of least resistance. And the path of least resistance is to go and continue to buy from someone who has taken care of you in the past. So, our first goal is to make resales to the same customer over and over. And your second goal in the sales process is to get referrals to new prospects from your satisfied customers. The happier you can make your customer, the more the customer will want to share you with their friends and associates. The more the customer will want their friends and associates to get the same excellent experience that you have given to this customer in the first place. Now, what is the major sales influence in today's marketplace? The answer is word of mouth. It's what people say. In fact, the most valuable asset that a company has, or a product or service, is what people say about that product or service to other people after they have purchased it. For example, they have a good movie that comes out. The movie has a certain amount of advertising. People go and see it. Now, within a week, people will tell other people that that's a good movie, or they will tell other people it's a poor movie. If it's a good movie, more people will see it the following week, and then more and more. And I've been to movies that have been out for several weeks, and they are full. You cannot even get a place to sit because everybody is talking about how good the movie is. Of course, the reverse is also true. If it's a poor movie, the opening weekend is the high point of sales for that movie. So your aim is to get your customers selling for you. We want them to be what is called customer advocates, where they go out and they tell other people to buy from you because you take such good care of them. Now, what is the method to get your customers to sell for you? Outstanding customer service. There's nothing that replaces this personal service where you take good care of a person after they buy from you. So speedy response to inquiries is a key measure for customers. Speed is one of the most important things that you can do. Fast action on complaints or difficulties is absolutely essential to creating customer loyalty. And regular follow-up and continuous customer service are absolutely essential to get people to buy from you and tell other people. Now, what is the true measure of your customer service success? Sometimes it's the true measure of your business success, and it is simply a number. And the number is the percentage of your business that comes from repeat sales and referrals. Some of the most successful salespeople and business people I know get 80 and 90% of their business from previous customers and referrals from previous customers. They don't have to spend money advertising at all. They just simply take really good care of their customers, and their customers advertise for them wherever they go. So here is an exercise. Imagine that you could not prospect anymore, that a law was passed and you could not call on new prospects anymore. You would have to work only with your existing customers. The question is, what would you do to develop new business if you couldn't call on any new customers? And the answer is, treat every customer that you have as if you are on the verge of losing them right now. Let me tell you a good story, and it's true. Once upon a time, a company was growing very rapidly, and their salespeople were making a lot of sales and were very highly paid. And they started to get a lot of complaints from customers because after the salesperson had made the sale, the salesperson ignored the customer. They wouldn't need another product for a couple of years, so the salesperson went on to the new customer and forgot about the old customer. So they brought in a new policy in December of the year. And they said, from now on, you will not be allowed to go out and find new customers. You will not be allowed to cold call or to solicit new business. The only thing that you can do is work on referrals. And in order to get referrals, you're going to have to go back and call on your previous customers. Well, many of the salespeople were very angry because they were making a lot of money on commission, and they liked to go out and make new sales. They had a good product, good service. It was well positioned in the marketplace. But they didn't want to have to go back and spend all their time taking care of their customers and getting referrals. But some of them realized they had no choice. So they went back out starting on January 2nd, and they called on every customer that they had made in the last year. And they called them and they said they wanted to make sure the customer was happy. Is there anything that we can do to improve? Do you have any problems? Is there anything else that you need? And would you recommend us to anyone else? They were amazed at how much additional business existed within their own customers. Many companies have found that your existing customer base is a gold mine if you go back and work with them. This company increased their sales 32%. They had the fastest growth rate in their history in the following year when the salespeople began going back on calling on every customer and making sure they were happy. Now, what are the reasons for customer defection? Why is it that customers walk away from one company and start to buy from another company? Well, people would say it's the quality of the product or service. No, lack of attention by the salesperson is the #1 reason why customers stop working with your company. Indifference on the part of someone in the company. For example, the customer will call your company and will be put on hold for 15 minutes. And the customer will decide never to do business with you again because they're impatient. So it's always when you treat the customer with disrespect or lack of courtesy or affection, the customer becomes angry and decides not to buy from you again. Another reason why customers leave is lack of responsiveness. They call to get information and no one gets back to them. It's the most amazing thing. Another reason is a lack of responsiveness to complaints. They have a complaint or problem, they call or email the company, and nothing happens. So what we know is that when you get a complaint, a fast response builds loyalty. A slow response triggers anger and fear. A slow response makes people want to change and stop doing business with you and tell all their friends what a difficult company you are. So here's the golden rule of customer service, is serve your customers the way you would like your suppliers to serve you. Treat your customers the way you would like to be treated by them. Develop a golden chain or an endless chain of referrals from satisfied customers. The key to success is for you to get referral after referral after referral, and this brings us to one of the greatest breakthroughs probably in the history of customer service, and it's called the ultimate question. Fred Reichhold at Bain & Company did many years into customer service, and why some companies were more successful than others in holding on to their customers. And they came up with what they called the ultimate question. And the ultimate question is this. It is, based on your experience with us, on a scale of 1 to 10, would you recommend us to others? This is the greatest question in business. Based on your experience with us, on a scale of 1 to 10, would you recommend us to others? And what they found was that if people gave you a high grade on this score, they would recommend you to others, and those people would recommend you to others, and so on. You see, the willingness of someone to recommend you to others is the highest level of customer satisfaction. People are taking their own personal credibility in their hands. They're risking, they're taking a chance when they tell their friend or relative to buy from you, because they're responsible. If a customer will recommend you to someone else, it means that you have scored very high. On a scale of 1 to 10, would you recommend us to others? If you can get a high score in this area, your future is guaranteed. Many companies today are transforming their sales and profitability by focusing on increasing their net promoter score, the number of high scores that they get from their customers. So continually ask your customers, if they give you a lower grade than 9 or 10, how can we get a 10 next time? What would we have to do to get a 10 in your estimation? And you know what? Your customers will tell you. And if you do what they tell you, they'll give you a higher grade, and they'll buy from you again, and they'll recommend you to their friends. So here's the relationship selling strategy for excellent customer service. First of all, build rapport and trust from the very beginning. Remember, the more that the customer likes you and trusts you, the more they will buy from you and give you referrals. Build credibility with your perceived competence. Demonstrate that your quality, your product, and your service are absolutely excellent. Develop a relationship maintenance strategy. You should have a very clear plan for everything that you're going to do after you make the first sale. Nothing should be random or happen by chance. You should know what you'll do at the first day and the first week and the first month, so you have a process for taking wonderful care of your customers. The goal is simply this: service your customers better than anyone else. Always ask your customers, how can we serve you better in the future? How can we improve our services to you in the future? And whatever they say to you, always respond by saying, we'll get on that right away. We'll take care of that right away. We'll do it right away. Remember, customers have a need for speed, and if you offer to take care of their needs really fast, they will like you, they will buy from you, and they will buy again. So develop a customer sales and service strategy that enables you to get and keep customers for life. This is the foundation of a great sales career, and it's the foundation of all long-term business success. All successful businesses keep their customers for the long term. Now, the customer service approach does not happen by accident. It requires careful planning and discussion and training of everyone who deals with customers. There must be rewards and recognition for those who go the extra mile to please and satisfy your customers. All successful salespeople and businesses are known for how well they treat your customers. And this must be your goal as well. Now, here are some questions you can ask and answer to get more resales and referrals in the future. Number 1, list 3 actions that you can take with every customer to increase their likelihood to buy from you again. Number 2, why is it that the second and third sales are more important than the first sale? Number 3, why is it that resales and referrals are easier and more profitable than prospecting and finding new customers? Number 4, why is word of mouth so important in marketing and sales today? Number 5, how could you increase the amount of your business that you get from referrals? What could you do right now to get more referral business? Number 6, what are 3 reasons for customer defections? Why do customers walk away from any supplier? And number 7, how can you service your customers so well that they buy from you over and over again? What could you do specifically? And finally, what one action are you going to take immediately as a result of what you've learned in this session to improve your resales and referral business?